Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear humanity, today I've come again so that we can look at healthy issues concerning young people, because of recent I was somewhere and I saw a billboard, and the billboard said, "Stop cancer in young people." My people, indeed, every young man and every young woman would like to live a life that is healthy. A young man or a young woman would like to be very healthy. And for your information, being in your body with all the beauty of wellness is the greatest asset that any living human being can possess in their lifetime. So, we are going to look at why do young men and women are contracting diseases, which are diseases like cancer and some other diseases, but we are going to look at cancer in young men and women. First of all, I'll point out exactly what drives human bodies to commit suicide, because cancer in a human body is an act of the body of a human being of itself committing suicide. Otherwise, in a human body, there is what we call red cells and white blood cells. These cells are found in the blood of a human being. The blood of a human being contains red and white blood cells. Red and white blood cells are responsible for building, managing, and carrying all functions of muscle body building or building of muscles on a human body. Red and white blood cells are responsible for building every muscle on a human body, either outside what you see, muscles that you see outside, or inside in the organs of body organs which are found inside the human body. But these red and white blood cells are things that have mechanisms and the principle that they work with, or when Allah created human beings, He laid down a foundation and He laid down laws for both men and women, as well as all living creations that were created. They have holy divine laws that governs these creations. In a human being, in the structure or the creation of human being, Allah laid down holy divine laws that governs the human body, as well as how do human conduct, or how do human beings do business or interact with themselves in their societies, and how do they interact, how do they do business, how do they communicate or live in their societies with their families, friends, and what have you, in harmony. So Allah laid down what we call holy divine laws. These holy divine laws some of them are direct holy divine laws, whereby Allah says human beings are forbidden, it's prohibited of you human beings to consume things like alcohol. And there's some other laws which prohibits men and women in engaging in things that are practices that are harmful, both psychologically as well as physically. That means your health is it has two parts of it: a psychological part of it, and a physical part of it. Any of these two can easily be put in a state of unwellness or unhealthy. You can put either your body in an unhealthy environment if you disobey one of the holy divine laws that governs a human body. So we are going to see what are the factors, what are the major factors that can make red and white blood cells to mutate or to form into or to commit suicide. Because, as I said, the cancer in a human body is the red and white blood cell committing suicide in a body that it builds, because a red and white blood cell builds every muscle on a human body. So we are going to look at what are the causes, what are the factors that are majorly kind of leads a human body to commit suicide, or a red and white blood cell to commit suicide in a body that it is constructed or it has built since the very day that you are born, from day one. And we've seen that a human body has what we call there are divine laws, holy divine laws that Allah laid down, that human beings have forbidden, have prohibited, have said, do not consume alcohol or do not put alcohol in your bodies. That is factor one. That is one of the whatever we are going to look at, and I'll add in other whatever that accompany alcohol and make the body of a human being or the red and white blood cell to commit suicide, as we see that a body of a human being can easily commit suicide or mutate its the red and white blood cells can easily mutate and form tumors, which we in the end are called cancer tumors or cancer tumors. So this act of a human body committing suicide is something that a human being, you modern men and women, cannot understand. Because, I'll explain. A human body works with what we call it has rules and regulations. Like, for instance, the red and white blood cell in the blood of a human being, because the body of a human being runs, the fuel that runs that body is blood. And blood has to be able to have what we call either whatever that you as a human being puts in your body has to be clean, free of toxins, intoxicants. For instance, as we said, we saw that Allah has put laid down a holy divine law saying that human beings have forbidden human beings from the consumption of alcohol. So alcohol is one of the major factor or whatever that can easily confuse and destroy and force the red and white blood cells in a human body to commit suicide. How? When Allah says, I've forbidden human beings from the consumption of alcohol, that law is Allah laid it down for humans to follow that holy divine law, because a human body, one, does not know how to remove alcohol toxins from the human body. And two, a human body does not have the mechanisms to remove alcohol, toxin, gang from the human body. So Allah using that, using a prevention, and prevention is better than cure. He said, this is a holy divine law that prohibits human beings from the consumption of alcohol or putting alcohol in your bodies. So we are going to look at what does alcohol do to cause human red and white blood cells to form or mutate into cancer tumors. My people, when a human being consumes alcohol contains what we call elements, very toxic, very toxic toxins, very deadly toxins, that once those toxins enter the human body, first of all, once alcohol enters the human body, alcohol does not come out of a human body because the body of a human being does not have the mechanism and does not know how to remove alcohol from a human body. And the other factor is that a human body, once alcohol enters the human body, the toxin gang elements of poison, they attack the red and white blood cells in a human body. When the alcohol enters the human body, the first thing it does is to attack the red and white blood cells in a human body. Once alcohol attacks the red and white blood cells in a human body, it kills or disables the electrical spasms that are found in every red cell in a human body or every white cell in a human body. Every red and white blood cell in a human body contains electrical spasms. Those electrical spasms are responsible to carry information, to prepare, to give whatever the red and white blood cells the ability to move and carry whatever into the oxygen and the electrical spasms to the brain neurons of a human being. The red and white blood cells contains what we call an electrical spasm. That electrical spasm is responsible for sparking and kind of the neurons in the brain of a human being to be able that the brain is able to communicate with every part of the body of a human being by either knowing that this part of the body needs this amount of this and that. That the legs needs this amount of millimeters of either water or things like that. The arm needs this, the eye needs this, and that. So the electrical spasms that are in the red and white blood cells do go in the brain and deposit what we call an electrical spasm. And then that electrical spasm is immediately sparked or whatever by the brain neurons to enable the red and white blood cells to carry information, correct information, in all parts of the body, including building of muscles and whatever that the body requires, that part of the body requires. However, when the alcohol enters the human body, as we saw, the first thing alcohol does is to either kill or disable the electrical spasms of red blood cells or white blood cells. Once a red or white blood cell is disabled, that means once the electrical spasms in red and white blood cells are disabled or killed, that means they cannot function. They are stuck. They are killed. They cannot move anywhere. So what happens after that? That the brain neurons enters a phase whereby they are starved of any electrical spasms to spark and send information and calculate and whatever of the entire body. It loses the brain neurons also enter a phase which is called partial paralysis. When the brain of a human being is in a state of partial paralysis, it is as your heart, your brain, and your whatever is half dead. Half of your brain is half dead, or half of your body is half dead. But that state is medical. You would say it's a partial paralysis. So when that happens, that a brain neurons are or the brain is in a partial paralysis, it cannot spark any whatever because it has no any electrical spasms. Every blood cell is was disabled by alcohol, toxic gang toxins. That means that the brain, as we saw, that is in a partial paralysis or is half dead. Half of your body, your brain, your whatever your body, part of it is half dysfunction. It's not working. And then as that goes on, every part of your body, every organ loses the rotation cycles of every whatever that is required, either to build or to supply electrical, because a human body needs electrical spasms from air. Needs every part of the human body needs and works when it has what we call normal balanced sequencing rotation cycles of electrical spasms, which are found in red and white blood cells. So the red and white blood cells, we saw that have been disabled. They've been killed. The electrospasm has been killed. So there's no any whatever supply of either of electrical spasms to any part of the body. So there's no communication, there's no message, there's nothing. So every organ in your body is put out of action. First of all, the brain neurons are put out of action. The heart is also goes into what we call it kind of tries to keep and resuscitate itself but whatever message it sends to the brain neurons, they are uncoordinated, they are whatever, because there's no enough oxygen or there's no electrical whatever to make that information in a balanced, normal way. So that causes every part of your body go into a state of everything goes out, is put out of action. So after that state occurs in the human body, the red and white blood cells, we know that they were killed by alcohol, they were disabled by alcohol, toxic gang toxins in alcohol, or elements of alcohol toxins that are found in alcohol gang toxins. Once the red blood cells are every part of the body cannot communicate, has no electrical whatever. In that state, a human body or a human being who has consumed alcohol cannot articulate reason or accountability of themselves to reason or to make any meaningful statement, or to articulate reason to make any meaningful statement. That's when a person cannot recognize themselves, and when they try to stand up, they will stagger. Someone will be staggering. Or they'll be talking as if it's like gibberish. They don't know. The words are not clear. That means they cannot express, or they don't have any reasoning accountability, and they cannot recognize their bodies. But what is very dangerous is that once the red and white blood cells are in a state of disablement, or pinned down by the toxic gang toxins, they at time and time after they try to resuscitate the electrical spasm so that it stands, but it cannot. So it keeps trying. In the process of trying to restart the electrical spasms in a white blood cell or a red blood cell, because the toxins in the toxin alcohol elements in alcohol has a whatever that the fact that it disabled the red and white blood electrospasm in the first place, and also it's disabled or it killed, that means that is dangerous to the entire body and to the red and white blood cells themselves. Because whenever the red and white blood cells try to resuscitate, to break free from the whatever the toxic gunk of alcohol, it's either pinned down by the whatever the elements, alcohol elements of toxins in alcohol. So, in the process of trying to resuscitate or to break free, that's when the mutation process of either of a red blood cell or a white blood cell occurs, because it does not have the right information to be able to do the right procedure or the right decision. So instead of resuscitating and breaking free, it finds itself mutating into either a blood clot or a cancer tumor. Now, people, this is where I'm coming from. So, alcohol is one of the major things that drives the mutation of blood cells into cancer tumors in modern society today. Why? You can easily consume alcohol through the food you eat, because in some foods there's what they add, there's what they put there, what they call additives or preservatives. Some of these things are alcohol. They are alcohol, but they're not directly explained to human beings that they're alcohol. And human beings, they don't know how much a human body can consume of that. And on the other side, the human body does not have the mechanisms to remove or clean itself from these things, that because it does not have the mechanisms. So once alcohol enters the human body, it will sit in the human body because it does not come out, because the human body doesn't have the mechanism to remove those toxin, gunk, whatever toxins. So in the process of sitting in the human body as alcohol, it adapts the temperature, everything over that is cell, whatever. And in that process, as because it attacked and attached its whatever on every red and white blood cell. Wherever the red blood cell go, alcohol, toxin, gunk that disabled or kill the red the electrospasm will go wherever the cell goes, the alcohol or whatever will go, either in the muscle tissues, in every joint, in every whatever. So first of all, the body loses what we call regeneration of its muscles. The regeneration of whatever building every muscle is completely cut off. The human body can no longer able to build muscles or to regenerate its whatever. As a result, that whole process also has a format. The format is that alcohol puts on the muscle tissues, is that muscle tissues enter into what we call a decaying, rotting, boiling format of alcohol, which makes every muscle and every whatever to be able not to function properly. As a result, the human body can no longer renew any muscle tissue in the body. Instead, it's degrading, which causes people to get diseases which are what you call arthritis. Arthritis, because the muscles are contain, every tissue of the muscle contains toxins of alcohol. And that toxins are kind of have an effect, which is rotting, decaying, whatever. And that decaying, whatever, what it does, it degrades, it destroys the muscle, and they cannot regenerate or the whatever themselves, they cannot rebuild themselves anymore. And that also can easily make blood cells mutate into blood clots or cancer tumors. So, my people, we are looking at things that kind of drives human bodies into committing suicide. We saw that a human body, or Allah who created human beings, He laid down a holy divine law that demands that or prohibits human beings from the consumption of alcohol. So, one of the most important things that people should know is that a human body has a very important and connection to what you call the region, or what modern people call religion, because in the beginning of a human being, the first article that was laid down as a foundation, whatever, was a religion. And that the region is what has been communicating or kind of evolved or moving from one state to the other, whereby you started as a formation of atoms, a fusion of atoms and energies, and then you became a nega or a drop of water, and you were put in Allah commanded, and you were put in your mother's womb, and then you began the journey until you arrived on this planet. All that the first, what to say, the initial stages of your whatever, we are under a certain absolute high, an absolute divine holy decree of Allah, or the decree of Islam, which demands that your body works according to the principles and the mechanisms that were laid in the absolute holy divine holy decree of Islam, that manages your body to be able to change from a drop of water into what a cloud, an embryo, and so on, until you come onto this planet born as a child. So all those processes have been the first initial stage of a human journey to planet Earth, where part of it was mainly a religion or a spiritual whatever interpretation in that whatever. But also your body never forgets that it has a religion. You as a human being, you can easily say that I don't have a religion, I don't believe in anything. So, but your body, that's because it believes, it knows that there's someone who created that body. So it will have that whatever, or it's whatever, as long as it's you are a living human being. So one of the things that occur when we are kind of in a growing up is that some people, there are some people they call atheists. They say we don't believe in anything. There are some people who say we are Christians, and there are some people who say, okay, I'm a Muslim. So we are going to look at these three things: atheists, and Christians and Muslims. What is the religion that began your journey to become a human being? The journey that began your journey to become a human being has what we call, I'll kind of put that, whatever, I'll come back to it and explain that. When we are created as human beings, we come on this planet and we find that this is called planet Earth. When you are growing up, you every day you look out in the sky, either maybe after a few days, you see that there's a moon, the celestial body that is very near to planet Earth. And also, there is the sun that brings light every day. And also, we have the rain and whatever. The things that we call the environment, which make up life on planet Earth, trees and what have you. All these creations, they have a religion. They have a religion that religion allows those creations to work with your body so that you change from a one-day little boy to a 40 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 year-old man. So what is the question now we are asking? What is the true religion of your blood cell that began as a cell or a fusion of energies and a fusion of energies and atoms and whatever that made you to be an egg, and then you ended up being a baby, a one-day little baby. The religion that I'll transfer this whatever religion to mothers. That mothers are the one who carry the womb, because every human being on this planet is carried by a woman, is produced by a woman. Women, in the creation of what we call a woman, Allah made that creation very, very special creation. A woman being, a female being, is a very, very, very special creation. Why? Because in a woman, all the programs that manages the existence of all living men and women on this planet, those women, that program is registered in a woman. How? A woman is, her body is registers the program that manages the existence and the survival of the human race. One, a woman has what we call a frequent pulse of life, or a frequent pulse of the religion of Islam, the religion of the universe, the religion of Allah, the religion of the sun in the sky, the religion of the moon, and the religion of planet Earth. That pulse is what the nearest celestial body, which is the moon, applies to a child when she's growing up, because that pulse, frequency pulse, is registered in a woman's body. As it's what brings about all the menstrual, whatever reproductive cycles in a woman. The frequency pulse of life in a woman, the frequency pulse of life, or the frequency pulse of the absolute holy divine decree of Allah, of the religion of Islam, is registered in every woman. And as it is registered in every woman, that woman, her body has to be able to communicate with the nearest celestial body, which is the moon and the sun, as well as planet Earth, in order that the body of a woman has to be able to work with the reproductive gravity dynamics of the moon, the sun, as well as planet Earth, and the solar system near in which planet Earth is. That has to be balanced so that a woman can easily can be able to have a child, to carry a womb for 9 months. Because otherwise, if the program wasn't very well interpreted in her body, she will have problems either conceiving or managing the pregnancy, if she was pregnant, to go out or to go through the 9 months. So that makes Islam a religion which is that a woman's body kind of gets a signal from the moon that now it's 27 days or 28 days. Your body is able to, you are going into your period. A period of a woman, a menstrual period of a woman, is a what we call a reproductive cycle. A reproductive cycle whereby a woman is the moon calculates that as it rotates around the moon, the planet Earth, it calculates the woman's body and finds that such and such amount of body, whatever energies in a woman needs to be removed and replaced or renewed with the gravity dynamics that are in kind of in a direct whatever with that of the sun, the moon, as well as planet Earth. So that's why a woman, after 27 days or 28 days, the moon sends or whatever, and the woman goes into what we call a menstrual period, because that is a reproductive cycle of the body of a woman that a woman has to go through to renew to balance the reproductive gravity dynamics of her body with that of the moon, with that of the sun, with that of the solar system, with that of planet Earth, as well as whatever that is around around the human beings. But as we are growing up on this planet in modern times, men and women kind of lost the reality they entered a phase whereby they said, we are not Muslims. Even women who will go through the menstrual cycles, they say, we are not Muslims. And the fact that they say we are not Muslims, they even engage in confrontation, what we call a dispute or a confrontation with the religion that builds every muscles on a human body. Because we saw that a red and white blood cell has a religion. It has a religion. From the religion which we started it as whatever until you became a living human being. So in modern times, you have a belief, you have beliefs, you have people who say, I'm an atheist, you have people who say, I'm a Christian, you have people who say, there's so many whatever that men have conjecture. But these things are very deadly to the survival of the human race. Because, for instance, if you say that you're a Christian, in one way or the other, you've entered a dispute, a confrontation as a woman with your own body or your blood system, your red and white blood mechanisms, because your red and white blood systems are able to balance, and whatever that your body is able to go into a menstrual cycle, whatever, according to the absolute holy divine decree of Islam or the absolute holy divine decree of Allah. Otherwise, a woman cannot just stand out of nowhere and say, I want to go into my menstrual cycle now. You cannot do that because you don't have that power over your body. Only Allah has the power, and those bodies, the celestial bodies that He commanded, that according to this frequency powers can manage a human body, survival of human beings, as so long as they allow their bodies to accept that they follow the religion that builds every muscle on their bodies. Once you turn around and say, we are in confrontation, we are at war, we are fighting the religion that builds every muscle on your body, then the next thing is that your body listens and knows whatever that goes on in your brain. Some of you have such a whatever that they are classified as militant Christians. People who say, we are militant Christians. Who are, when you say we use the word militant, I think you would understand what it is. So they will use any means to justify what is either a fabrication against their own bodies. A human body has a religion that builds every muscle. That the religion is Islam, because the religion of the water you drink is Islam. The religion of the light of the sky, the light or the sun in the sky is Islam. The religion of the moon that works with the human body to go through the changes and even kind of allows the body of a woman to register or takes it into a menstrual cycle or menstrual period at the end of every 20 or 27 or 28 days. That religion is Islam. So when you turn around and say, I'm fighting Islam, I'm a Christian, my people, that is one of the reasons why young men and women today, their bodies are kind of mutating, or their bodies are committing suicide, because a body which builds your muscles on your body, a system of red and white blood cells that builds a body from a one-day little boy to a 15 or 30 or 20-year-old man or young girl. If you turn around and say you are fighting, or you mock, or you accuse, or you point fingers at a religion that you say, I hate Islam, we here in whatever, we don't like Muslims. My people, you are not accusing, or you are not pointing the finger at anybody else, but you are in direct confrontation, direct dispute, direct war with every red cell and every white blood cell in your body. So you are fighting your own body, your own system that is inside you, which has the power either to say, I'm tired of listening to this man saying that we build, we build his muscles from the very day he was born, when he's helpless. Now he's of age. He's saying he doesn't like the religion that we work very hard to build every muscle in his body. So one by one, those cells, they start to say, I'm tired of a man who in whose mind is saying he's not a Muslim. He's always fighting with whatever, that he doesn't like Muslims. He hates Muslims. So one by one, those cells in your body start to mutate and kind of form into what we call, they commit suicide. Because whatever that you think, either open, some of you, they do have this whatever, either they are open or it's hidden, it's in them. But in there, you cannot hide anything from the red and white blood cells. You as a human being, you cannot. So the red and white blood cells himself, this man doesn't like Islam. He's hating Islam because you drink the water. As soon as the water enters your body, as it says, Assalamu alaikum to the red and blood cells, it says what is displayed on you, whatever in your body. Like, I hate Islam. I don't like Islam. I don't like Islam. So the water, the first thing it says, I think I'm in the wrong place. That the water you drank to make your whatever to quench your thirst. He says, I'm in a wrong place. And when they whatever the red blood cells and says, we've been here in this village for a long time. So one by one they start mutating, forming into cancer tumors, committing suicide. Your own body committing suicide. On top of that, if you reject the region that builds every muscle on your body, which is the region of the moon in the sky, which you can give your mother what we call a reproductive cycle, whatever, that your mother was able to carry the womb for 9 months. If you reject the region of that, whatever, the region of Islam, or the region of the moon, and the region of the sun, and the region of the planet Earth, and you say you have your own religion, then you are, I think, you either you are, which means you are at war. You are at war with yourself, which you cannot understand, and you find yourself that because you say you are not a Muslim, you say I'll drink 20 bottles of cognac and champagne because I'm not a Muslim. Muslim people, they don't drink. For us, we drink. You go and have binge and extravagantly kind of enter another phase of a deadly war against yourself, whereby Allah has said, do not put alcohol in your body. And that law is found in the Holy Quran, a book which was revealed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a book which has all the divine holy laws, divine holy prescriptions, divine holy directives that governs and guides human beings how to live in their bodies, how to live in their societies, how to live in harmony with the environment. So, because you said you are not a Muslim, you could drink 20 bottles of champagne or cognac or Jack Daniels or whatever. That alone drives every cell in your body into what we call to be destroyed or harmed by every alcohol, whatever elements, toxin gang that when you drank 20 bottles, and each of those 20 bottles is like drinking whatever, that the impact on your red and white blood system is that every red and white blood system in your body has been decimated, has been switched off, has been killed. And they won't know when they try to resuscitate themselves, they meet that whatever, they cannot. Instead of, in the process of trying to resuscitate themselves, they end up mutating, taking a different direction, which they don't have no whatever of, because they are in a state of disablement. They are killed. So Allah said, do not consume more alcohol, because alcohol can easily alter your genetic birth structures, whereby you as a younger girl, I'll tell you this as well. Every alcohol element that enters your body goes straight into your ovaries. Every alcohol, whatever content, elements, whatever, toxins that you consume as a woman, it goes straight into your reproductive cell, whatever, that is the ovaries. And it deposits itself as a lining of the ovaries, whereby if you are to become pregnant, an egg is supposed to be put in the ovaries. But remember that every day you've been drinking, and the lining or mucus lining of the ovaries is no longer what it is meant to be. It's an alcohol, toxin gunk of toxins of alcohol. Once an egg is put there, and on top of before the egg is put there, that whenever you try, you go in your menstrual cycles, you either they come in time or they become a little somehow find irregular, and if they do, they occur in a regular whatever fashion, they are very painful because the whole entire reproductive system of a woman is clogged, is damaged, is kind of clogged and damaged. And even the ovaries are lined by a mucus of toxin gunk of alcohol. Because your culture says you can't really drink 20 bottles of champagne in the evening, or after midnight you drink another 30, and so on and so on. Because that's where the way you think that your body kind of whatever. But it's very dangerous because as young men, women today, you've come across friends, or a friend or whatever, even your own families, that you have a son or a little baby that cannot do things for herself because of a medical disorder. Because of a medical disorder. That medical disorder is either severe or mild, depending on what and how the genetic of that little girl or little baby that you brought when you are drunk, how severe, it depends. But you as human beings, you do not need any medical disorders in your children. Because that's why Allah said, do not consume alcohol, because alcohol alters all the genetic structures or the original birth genetic structures of a human being. Whereby you have a daughter, she has a medical or disorder, it's either mild or whatever. But you don't need that, because as a young girl, you want a bubbly, very happy, healthy child, isn't it? So the reason why we are going to go back and see, why do young men in whatever today end up contracting cancer, or their bodies kind of mutate, and I mean their blood cells mutate into what we call cancer whatever. One of the factors that I've showed you, that my people, if you want, this point goes to women or girls or women. As a woman, your body, whether you like to hear it or you want to put whatever in your ears, the reason why you enter a monthly reproductive cycle, whatever, that is the way the universe, the nearest representative of the rest of the universe, says to you that your religion, as a young girl, you are a Muslim. You are a Muslim because the rotation of the moon around planet Earth, in that process of frequency rotations of the moon, it registers every whatever that is going on in a woman's body. After 28 days, it will say, today you are to go into your period, into your menstrual period, so that you can either renew, or mainly women go into their menstrual cycle period to renew or balance the reproductive gravity dynamics of both planet Earth, of the moon, of the sun in the sky, as well as the solar system. And the solar system includes 7 near galaxies to planet Earth. But that comes after that woman has kind of become pregnant. So the reason why I'm saying that is that women, whether you like it or not, your body, when it goes into the menstrual cycle, it's not you who say that I want to go to be in a menstrual cycle, a menstrual period. No. You cannot do that. It's the rotation, sequencing cycles of the moon that records that such and such of level of reproductive dynamics energies in your body needs to be either this needs to be reduced and this needs to be balanced and this needs to be, so that when you are in a state of a balanced reproductive gravity dynamics of both planet Earth, the moon, the sun in the sky, as well as the solar system, as well as the 7 near galaxies, your body will be able to carry. Well, once they are in kind of a balanced whatever, your body will you become pregnant or you conceive, and when you become pregnant, your body will be able to take you through the 9 months when there's a creation taking place in your womb. Otherwise, if you were not able to whatever, your body will kind of you find the pregnancy very, very difficult to go through, and you may end up having a miscarriage. So it is your body as women, your bodies that Allah has said, women, every woman, whether you like it or not, your body is the evidence that I've placed on every woman that she should tell her children the true religion. That true religion is Islam. Islam is the religion of the moon. Islam is the religion of Mother Planet Earth. Islam is the religion of the sun in the sky. Islam is the religion of every plant, every food that you have ever consumed or you have ever put in your stomach. When you turn around and say, we are this and that, or whatever you've conjectured, those conjectured beliefs, being conjectured itself, carries like it carries 80% of the poisons that makes your bodies or your red and white blood systems mutate into cancer tumors or blood clots. So we are looking at how do human beings today stop the cancer that is rising at a very, very high speed or high rate in human young men, in young men and women? The answer is simple. I gave you what a woman's body means, between what is the relationship of a woman's body and Islam. Anyone who challenges that, they will either say, I'm not a Muslim, and because she enjoys a bottle of champagne, she will maybe never have a child, or if she has one, you will have a medical whatever disorder. And her body too will always kind of, and for your information, a young woman who has never touched alcohol does not look the same as a young woman who drinks every day. A young woman who never touched alcohol and her body is clean, there's what we call a sparkling fragrance, rhythms of beauty on her face when she looks in the mirror, or if anybody looks at her. But a woman who drinks alcohol, her body has the effect of a format of alcohol that it puts on a human tissue, human being's tissue. A woman who consumes alcohol, her body will look like as if, I don't know, many of you, whenever you go to the supermarket, you may find a piece of whatever that they display that is reddish. It's kind of a whatever. That woman's body will look like that. When you put two women, the one who consumes alcohol and the one who doesn't, the one who consumes, her body will look like exactly a boiled whatever. And the other one who has never consumed alcohol, her body will be kind of sparkling with beauty. So a woman who consumes alcohol, her body reflects a decaying format of a decaying, rotting, boiling format of muscle tissues, whereby her face appears reddish and kind of her skin looks reddish, as if it's in whatever, because that's what alcohol does to a human body. Degradation of every muscle tissue, and even degrading every tissue muscle, as well as killing any interaction and a connection with the nearest celestial body in your sky, which is the moon. So, anyway, my people, today we are going to, will kind of make sure that we are online for 1 hour exactly. Once that hour elapses, then maybe we can continue when I come next time. And before I switch off, we've seen why your bodies, they call, why did you do that? You switch off. Okay, we switch off.